This is the Bits and Balls Show.
No one loves a black player more than Gareth Southgate, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? No one.
I think people underestimate the power of music sometimes, especially when it comes down to sport. For me personally, it shapes so many things.
I mean, Lacazette in a suit, you know, I'm happy with that.
That kid, oh my gosh.
Please.
So what's happening, people? Welcome to Beats and Balls with your host, your boy, the posh yardie JJB. I am here back in the hot seat. And this week, I'm not joined by my regular co-host, Zeke. I'm just going to say it, basically. He's been a little bit selfish this week. His partners had their first child. So I was a bit disappointed that he couldn't make it this week, basically. I'm quite upset about that. I mean, the child was born on the Thursday afternoon. We're recording this now on a Monday afternoon. So I'm like, well, go on, man. What's up with that, man? Like,
he's underrated, man.
Nah. Get back to work, B, man.
Of selfish.
You can tell this is from someone that doesn't have children.
I'm like, get back to work.
This guy's out here getting 2 weeks,
Come
man. Ain't longer than that.
Man. If it was the same day, you could maybe give him a little blind. No. Lazy. So anyway, I've upgraded. This week I've got on in the co-pilot seat. You might recognise her voice from, she was a guest a couple of weeks ago. One of the baddest journalists out here. One of my good friends. Natasha, what are you saying?
I'm not saying a lot after yesterday.
Bad look, is it? It was a bad look. How's your week been so far? It's only albeit a few hours in, but
it's been all right. As long as the rain keeps away,
you're happy.
I'll be happy.
Good times. Right, so Tasha, tell the people then what Beats and Balls is all about. What do we do on Beats and Balls?
We basically do everything that your mainstream media doesn't.
Happy days.
And we're not talking to your generic football fan,
none of that.
Your male or your stale. We're talking about the things that matter. We're talking about swag. We're talking about style. We're talking about players. We're talking about culture. We're not talking about whether Alan Pardew's going to get another job, because to be honest, we don't care.
We don't care. Nobody cares anymore. So that's Beats and Balls. So we've got a heavyweight lineup this week. Like, I've worked really hard to pull together and treating you guys out there with some big boy guests on the show this week. Starting up, we have representing the United Stand, representing Flex and Rants. Man like Flex. What are you saying? Talk to people there, man.
I'm good.
Big Man United fan who doesn't live anywhere near Manchester.
Hey, listen, biggest club in the world, you get the biggest following in the world. That's what happens, man. You know what I mean?
You all though?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Enjoying life right now. Most importantly, on an amazing journey away from football, which is great.
Okay.
But obviously inside of the football arena, man, we've had some real lows, a few highs, a couple of lows again.
Ollie's at the wheel now.
Yeah, he's at the wheel, man.
Is he really though?
It's gonna take time and stuff like that.
There's a backseat driver called Alex.
We've had a bag of managers who you have to get people who got experience and been there, done it, won it. Jose's won everything there is to win. Van Gaal's won everything there is to win. Where did their man end up? Washed up.
Not doing very well.
Josie's on BNTV with Richard Keys, so when
you get relegated to that, do you know what I'm saying?
It's bad times. We've also got on the show, listen, you've done the show before, one of my good pals, the author of 2 books. Certain man haven't written 1 book. Who's written 1 book in the room? 1 book? Anyone, Tash?
No, not even one. Maybe a couple of pages.
A couple of pages. My man's written 2 books. Das Reboot and Bring the Noise, Jurgen Klopp. Raphael Honigstien, what are you saying?
Thanks for having me, sort of thing. Thank you very much.
You well?
Yeah, good.
We haven't got you for long, so we're going to try and...
me as long as you want.
We're going to squeeze you as long as we can. So this week on the show, we're going to be talking about songs. We want to kind of theme it with songs, fan chants, and what's been sung in the stadium. Now, last month we did fashion and how fashion penetrates sports and football in particular, and that was a really great show. So this month we're going to be doing music and having some fun. Who has the best songs? Who has the worst songs? And where the origins of your team's songs actually come from. So I'm going to start with you, Flex. There's a song that you guys, it was referred to earlier by Tasha, have been singing. It's been ingrained in my head and not for a good reason. Let's just hear very briefly a snippet of the latest Man United fan song that's been doing the rounds. So Yeah. Enough of that nonsense. So, Ollie's at the wheel. Although at the moment he's not really at the wheel, is he, Flex? To be honest, but it's not going too well.
He's past his provisional. He's got a full.
He's taking his driver's license, his test again. To be honest,
Is he taking his motorway test?
Do you know what it is? Yeah, what's so funny about this Ollie at the wheel thing? Before that, yeah, this song was actually sung before. I don't know if a lot of non-Man United fans know that. It was Jose's at the wheel before. It was the same song. It's only just become.
Never heard that.
Yeah. It wasn't sung as often, but mainly at the away games though. Because no matter how poor we were playing, can you swear on that?
You can swear, yes.
Okay. No matter how poor we was playing, the away fans would always, you know what I'm saying, still keep going.
Okay.
And it was Jose's at the wheel. Tell me how it was exactly the same thing, and they swapped out Ollie for Jose in that
Cover
song.
version.
Yes, it's just a remix. It is. But you
It's
know
very
what?
rare
The
a
tune-
remix does better than the first
Exactly.
version.
But the tune just banged because
What
we were doing good.
and you liked him. So tell us where the origins of the original song came from then. So does this predate even Jose, or was it literally Jose?
No,
kicked off?
I've only heard it from the Jose time.
Okay.
And do you know what pisses me off about the song the most as well? Is that half the time we sing it, yeah, them players, we don't even see them man on the pitch at the same time.
That's true. Pogba,
Sanchez is dead.
Rashford,
Take him out of the song.
Yeah, it's true.
Why is he still in it?
It's true.
Fred's
it's true.
having a stinker. We hardly ever see much of him.
Yeah, I forgot he's in
Take
the
him
song.
out.
I forgot
Pogba's
Fred's in
been
the
up and
song.
down this season.
Yeah.
And yeah, all right, we know Marcus is Manc born and bred, but so
No.
is Jesse. Put him in.
So Jesse's some love.
dog.
Do you know what I'm saying?
How many minutes into the show and we've got our first Jesse Lingard
Oh
mention?
yeah, so Tasha's not really a big fan of
hate him.
Lingard. I've been one round of
hate him.
Jesse.
He's a good
personally.
player. He's a good
My
squad.
spirit Natech to him.
Raphael, as an outsider, someone that's not from this country, who do you see as having the best football songs and football chants?
We've got the best chance. I'm not sure. The
Well, it's not
Italians.
Arsenal.
The Italians have really good ones.
Do they have good ones?
Yeah, the Italians have one based on Three Little Birds.
Okay. What team's that?
Not a song.
No. What is there a team that remixed that or?
Is
No,
it
I've
Napoli?
heard it sung by Italy fans.
Oh, okay, the Italian national team. Okay.
Yeah.
I've not heard that
Really
one. Okay.
good.
Okay,
So do
Bob
you?
Marley in the cut.
So do you think that basically English football fans are quite whack when it comes to songs and being?
wouldn't
Are they
say
quite
that.
creative?
Would you say they're lazy? And they love a
It's
cover
a bit-
version
it's
and a
a
cover
bit
version?
repetitive.
That's exactly what it is.
And, you know, there's this kind of double irony thing going on where people sing about the best team the world's ever seen.
Yeah.
Thinking, yeah, you know, we
you're
know
not.
that you don't really mean it, but actually you do kind of mean it, and it is really stupid to sing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hear that. So we'll come back to United and some more of their songs in just a moment. Bayern Munich, you're a Bayern Munich fan. How prevalent are the songs and creative are the songs that you guys have amongst the Bayern hardcore? Are you guys quite known in Germany for being some of the most vociferous and creative when it comes
It's
to
not
chants?
bad. I mean, we've had over the last 10 years or so, there's been a real ultra movement in Germany, and even the big clubs who you'd expect to be a little bit soulless, a little bit corporate, they actually have hardcore ultra groups who make it a point of singing the whole time and having choreographies and all kind of stuff. Again, very much influenced by Italy.
Okay.
So yeah, Bayern's not bad. We got a few good songs, I'd say. One is based on that Brazil, da 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 da. You know that one?
No.
No.
That sounded like the Benny Hill theme tune.
Similar.
If you're being sarcastic, it genuinely did.
But it's not
The chicken
strictly
dance.
speaking British, but actually more of a salsa, South American vibe.
Okay, cool.
So I think we've got a Bayern Munich song that we're gonna quickly play and just gonna get your take on it. So Rafi, you're nodding along there. Do you know that song?
I do know the song, but
What's
I
that
don't know
song?
what it's based on. I don't know the original. I don't know the original tune. It's one of those tunes that you hear so many times that you forget what the original is.
Okay.
Like Volare, you know that?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
That's a popular one.
So we also see
The lyrics are good.
The lyrics, and that's important.
It's got good rhythm. I couldn't understand the lyrics, but the rhythm was good.
We see when you guys, especially Dortmund, you guys will always have that. We know about the noise you guys make and you guys sing for the whole 90 minutes. But in Europe, you guys always have that one hype man at the front that's got his back to the game. Yeah, he ain't watching the game.
Why does he go?
He didn't see any of the game. He's just beating the drum. What's all that about? Again, and how important is that man?
Well, again, that's an Italian thing. He's called the capo. He's the guy in charge.
Okay.
And there's almost a thing that you should not stop singing. Whether you concede or score a goal, you're not supposed to stop or change at all. Which some people are thinking it can get kind of a bit of a droning noise at the background. It just doesn't ever change, and some people prefer the English style where it gets very quiet but then it gets very busy when things happen, very loud. And in most Bundesliga stadiums it's most of a constant kind of humming in the background. It doesn't necessarily have the kind of ups and downs and the pure emotions, but the ultras see it as a thing to just keep that support and almost not react to what happens to the game, and the guy turning his back to the game kind of represents that. So I mean, me and Tasha Sport, we're Arsenal fans here, and we get a lot of flack from the fact that a lot of our songs apparently are quite weak and are quite lame. So what songs?
Well, that's a good question. So I'm going to tell.
I must admit, if we're talking about Arsenal songs, back in the day we used to have some decent Arsenal songs like "We Love You, Freddie" because you got red hair and things like that. We actually had songs.
So I think
now it just seems like we change words.
Yeah, they're very safe
to fit our team, like we're saying about the greatest team in the world.
We're very safe with our songs. So to try and address this later in the show, I've made a bit of a freestyle song that I'm gonna be singing to basically.
Is it going to
rectify.
be better than What Do You Think of Tottenham?
I think anything's better than What Do You Think of Tottenham, to be fair. So
you can't deny it. In a pub, if you're watching football in a pub, What Do You Think of Tottenham?
It goes off.
Is the one.
It goes off. My song is awful, by the way, but I'm trying.
I don't want to kick a club that's down.
But you're going to.
It's a bit cruel. It's a bit cruel, but at the same time, when you know that there's a specific woman that sings songs by herself.
Maria.
She sticks out.
Maria is a G.
But that is a bad sign.
Am I missing this?
In a crowd of 40,000 people, you know the one woman who's singing.
That is a bad sign.
That is really not saying a lot about the atmosphere.
But Maria is a legend. So whichever level of Arsenal football game you go to, you will hear Maria.
Okay.
When you're at Boreham Wood, and this is the thing. When you go to the youth games or the women's games, it is just Maria singing. And I've been to the Emirates, I think, when the women played there a few years ago, and there was only like 5,000-6,000 people there.
Dear.
And all I could hear, I've never met her. I need to buy her a drink because I don't know how she sings that much. Her throat must hurt, or she should be an opera singer, put it that way.
So I'm going to try and adjust the balance with my attempts later on in the show. But Flex, who decides? And same to you, Raphael, but I'll start with you. Who decides at United what song gets through? What song? Who's the person? Who's the group of people that decide what we're going to sing?
People decide. Like, I think it's. I honestly ask this question to myself a lot of the times. I still haven't given myself a straight answer. I think that you'll get a section of fans, or obviously one fan will obviously start, or a couple, and then it just spreads in. It's like a snowball effect, and I think if it's catchy and it takes on, it will just become famous. It's like one of them things where you just think, but how has this happened? Like, who makes this?
Yeah.
And I still don't have a definitive. There isn't this one guy called Harold, whatever his name is, and he's in charge.
He's a gatekeeper.
I do feel like there's a group of people in their basement agreeing that we're going to start this film on this day.
And do you know what? There's this thing, this whole top red thing, which is this. It's like a term that's flung around the United fan base, and almost like in the Arsenal.
Is that one of those where you have to go to 30 games a season, otherwise you're not a proper football fan?
That's exactly what it is. It's this kind of mentality.
There's snobbery.
That their opinion and their way of doing things, and more importantly, their way of supporting the club is better than anyone else's. So these fucking foreign fans coming over here. Hold on a minute. Let's have this right, yeah? Man United's the biggest club in the world. How big is this club going to be if every man who supported it was from Salford? How big? And how do you argue who's a bigger fan if someone...
Isn't Salford near a city?
Who has to... Huh?
Isn't Salford near a city?
It's just outside Manchester.
I know, but isn't it near a city?
She's taking shots. She's taking shots.
Okay. So there you go. So how do you categorise... How can I say I'm a bigger fan than you when I live, say, 10 minutes away from the stadium? My season ticket costs maybe £500 for the year. versus the guy from Malaysia who follows every single game and wakes up at 3 a.m. for every single game and then goes to work and hasn't missed a game. Like, how do you categorise that? Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't
Versus
think you
people who
can.
maybe, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Back to the top red thing, there's a lot of that mentality that, you know, their way is the best way. But I do think sometimes those guys are very influential as well in the terraces. And can kind of generate that atmosphere and those songs as well. So yeah, I don't think there's a real unless I'm missing something and I just don't know, which maybe you guys can enlighten me. I don't see